Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of SEDUCE Me the Otome. So we finally got the archetypal demons in the picture, so let's see where it goes from here. Load the save file. Where is everyone? This isn't my room. Oh wait, I live at my grandfather's house and there's a bunch of demons on the floor and I passed out. I was still in the clothes that I arrived at the house in, but I was laying in a slip-covered bed. I remembered coming in the afternoon, so why was it nighttime already? Anyway. Suppressing a yawn, I stretched my arms. Maybe I should order some food or delivery. I'm pretty hungry. I was about to sit up, but I suddenly realized I wasn't alone.
You're awake.
It's Filler Guy. Who the heck are you? You never even introduced yourself. That's why I call you Filler Guy. Why was I apologizing to a stranger who only said 2 words since I woke up? Wait, he looked eerily familiar. Then it all came back to me. Incubus. He was an incubus. He and his brothers. He was leaning against the far wall looking at me, making only strange grunting noises. I had no idea why. My heart began to race as I thought of the endless list of possibilities this situation brought me. I hated the thought of being under an incubus's power, especially in a bedroom. Get away from me. Do your worst this time, I'm prepared. He didn't move. I guess he wasn't going to attack me. Sorry. One thing still concerned me, though.
I'm not going to use my powers on you.
Oh, I was going to say the fact that this guy doesn't know how to use words, but I guess he proved me wrong. What?
I can read minds. It's an ability I was born with. Each of us has a different ability, outside of our usual mind-altering powers.
That's always a plus. You're still Filler Guy to me right now, but maybe you will prove me wrong. How long have I been asleep?
For a few hours. It's already gotten quite dark outside.
My father seemed to have disowned me, so I'm sure it doesn't matter how long I've been out.
My brothers are downstairs, cleaning up the blood from the lobby floor. And making you dinner as an apology.
Now that's more like it.
Oh, it's the least we can do after invading your home, and 2 of us using our powers on you.
You do have a point there. Right, I'd forgotten all about that. It still irked me that it had practically taken advantage of me at that point. Even if they were demons, it was pretty rude to demonstrate their powers by kissing me. I wasn't some kind of human plaything. All of this seemed pretty unreal. It was like something out of those romance novels that Naomi sometimes read. I'm playing one right now, actually. Maybe I should have just called the police on them. Then I would never have landed myself in this situation.
Do you feel well enough to get out of bed?
I think I'm good.
Trust me.
Just kidding.
I won't let you go.
Let me just fall upwards, as I assume you're taller than me, into your arms. Naturally.
I promise.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. It's all right. I'm used to it.
I decided to close my mouth for the time being so I wouldn't weird him out or make more things awkward than they actually already were. Although I would say that he's the one making things awkward and not me. And I'm saying as in me playing the protagonist. The protagonist herself, not the best decision maker. Damien seemed very quiet and calm about everything, especially with the situation we were in. However, there was a sort of longing in his eyes when he looked at me that wasn't lustful. It was more in admiration. Once he reached the lobby, I decided I felt well enough to walk on my own. As strong as he was, it was like he was carrying nothing. I somehow knew that even though I'm not carrying myself. I didn't want to make him carry me everywhere. I had some shred of pride. Thanks for carrying me, but I think I can walk by myself now. Not saying that I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it. Not in a weird way, of course. It's not like I get carried around all the time. What I'm trying to say is, it was really nice of you to do that.
It's no problem. I'll be heading to the dining room then.
I'm gonna say from the blush on this main character's face that she actually really likes Filler Guy, which is a little strange because, like I said earlier, he seems to be filler. Whoa, he really slipped away there.
Oh, hi.
These movements, sorry, it's pretty good. Suddenly, a boy who looked around my age or possibly younger bounced up to me. He looked vaguely familiar. Oh, wait. Ah, you're Matthew, right? The flower boy.
That's me. Are you feeling any better now? We were all worried when you suddenly passed out.
I think I'm good.
Really? Your face is kind of red. Do you feel sick?
Filler boy has got me a little flustered, but otherwise, think nothing of it.
Well, if you say so. I hope Sam and Eric didn't make you upset.
It's okay. After all, I did punch, what was his name? I think he was teenager bad boy in the face. I wondered how I exactly got myself into this mess. First my grandfather, then I had a fight with my father, I blew up at Lisette, and now this. I certainly had a knack for getting myself into sticky situations.
Oh, I have an idea.
He shoved his hands into his pockets with a cheery grin on his face.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Is he trying to do a magic trick?
Ta-da!
What is that? Is that a Pokemon?
Wait a second. What did I just make? This is...
It was a creepy looking doll. It looks more like a Pokemon to me. Okay, I didn't notice the knife. His face paled considerably and he dropped onto the floor, scooting away from
Get it away
frantically.
from me! He might be possessed by a demon or something!
He just has a knife. I think he's good.
That's not what I wanted to make! I just wanted to surprise you with a stuffed animal or just something to cheer you up.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to look so dejected. I mean, it's certainly unique.
But it
Think
looks so
it'll fit.
creepy.
Well, it's a thought that counts, right? You wanted to cheer me up after all. I picked up the doll and looked at it closely. Sure, it looked pretty weird at first, but it could be cute if I looked at it from a certain angle. I gave him a small smile.
You're welcome. It's good to see you smiling, even though the thing I made still kind of creeps me out. Anyway, you should come with me to the dining room. We're almost finished with the food, and, well, I don't mean to brag, but we're pretty decent chefs.
Sounds great, lead the way. Something smells good.
Oh, the girl's awake.
Piss off.
Should we really care?
I
Sam, I
don't
will
think you
roast
should.
that tongue for dinner if it doesn't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours.
Shh. Whatever.
I apologize for his attitude.
It's okay, intelligent Sasuke. Because I'm power hungry and I'm probably gonna go after you, you're the only one I care about anyways.
Good. I hope you'll enjoy the meal we prepared for you.
Meal?
We insist. Besides, it's quite impossible to undo our cooking, even if you command us to.
That's a little strange to say, but thanks anyway. Matthew put down the last little plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratedly to me, gesturing to the table with a sweeping motion.
Ah, there we go. Dinner's all served.
The table is filled with various foods from an eclectic selection of cuisines. One portion of the table is filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and other portions some yummy-looking desserts. And there were yet more and more plates that I could have possibly imagined. Whoa, that's a lot of food.
We hope you enjoy it, my sweet.
Thanks,
That's
Edgelord.
enough, Eric.
You're no fun, James.
I don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me.
But we're in the living room. I don't see where you're leading me to. James seemed very kind and intelligent, but aside from that, there is something that set him apart from his brothers. Not to mention he didn't really seem to hold much appreciation for them.
Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone?
My dickhead father hit me across the face, but he already had disowned me and banished me to my dead grandfather's house before that.
I'm all ears if you wish to tell.
Well, that's pretty much all it.
That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front doors. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be mine since I'm pretty much the owner of this house now.
You lived here before?
This used to be my grandfather's house, but like I said, my father forced me to move into it.
May I ask why you now live in your grandfather's house? My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here.
No, I'm good. I plan to build really big parties. Throw really big parties. In memory of my grandfather.
How do you feel about it?
Pretty good.
You don't have to be strong.
What do you mean?
I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all.
Thanks.
Are you alright? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek.
Oh yeah, my dad just hit me across the face. He stopped and leaned close, a little bit too close for my comfort, or maybe it was just me inspecting my face. He was really quite tall, having to bend over so much just to look at me straight in the face. It was hard to look at him, especially when we were so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up again and began walking.
Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen.
Thanks, Intelligent Sasuke.
My pleasure. Here's your seat.
Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
Thanks, Edgelord.
By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier. Stealing your second kiss like that.
Well, I know you're really creepy besides being an incubus thing, so I guess it makes sense.
I'm not as forward, unlike Sam.
Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my
I
ear.
won't lie though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms.
That went like straight right in my headphones. I was really uncomfortable to listen to. Let's be cool. You're quite the charmer, but I'm more of the charmer.
Yes, I am known for that.
As much as I do appreciate the constant compliments, you don't have to keep talking to me like that.
Like what?
Like, you know, rolling your words out in a really strange way. Well, like you're trying to get into my pants half the time.
I can
quite
assure
frankly.
you, I'm just a lover of beautiful women.
But something tells me there's more to it than that, even though you just told me you're an incubus and that explains everything and all. For a moment he looked away, losing a bit of his smile. Before I could question it, though, he turned back to me with a new teasing smile. I didn't want to hit him, but I didn't know how to react, so I couldn't look at him. He merely chuckled again in my ear.
Sorry. You just look so cute when you're blushing.
I felt my face heat up simply from his words, and I felt Eric take my hand and kiss it gently.
I hope you'll enjoy dinner, however, my dear.
Drew my attention back to the dishes. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward and proudly smiled, gesturing to all the dishes with a dramatic sweep of his arm.
I made almost all of the dishes myself.
Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression as if he felt was betrayed. His face changed instantly to that of a frown.
And I'm the Queen of the Nile.
What's that supposed to mean?
Me,
But he's
you,
the Queen of
and
the
James
Nile.
did the work together, dummy.
It's you, James, and I, Matthew.
That was a little obnoxious, James.
Little boys will always make mistakes.
Hey, he's just a flower boy. Leave him alone. You're the edgelord. We all play a role here.
I'm not a little boy. I'm barely a year younger than you.
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
You could be my really cool twin, I'm not gonna lie. I really couldn't help but laugh, but Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't feel like, in a way, he was much more mature than the others, especially Eric.
Huh? Is something funny?
No, nothing at all.
Oh. You're welcome, miss.
Such a well-mannered young lady. Beautiful inside and out.
Eric, knock it off.
In agreement with Matthew, Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric.
Seriously, you're getting really annoying with that suck-up act.
I think that you're a little annoying being a bad boy, but hey.
I'm just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl has already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment.
There's a
you
difference
guys just let
between
me
being
eat,
a
though?
gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt.
Schooled even by James. You're gonna need some cold water for that burn.
Is there enough
By the
screen
way,
space for
I
all
don't
of you?
believe we caught your name, even though you know each of us.
I'm Sarah.
It's a pleasure to finally know your name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
They were all comfortable around me despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if it was natural for them to be around humans. As if. I guess that was just how Incubi worked. But I was curious about one thing. Excuse me. Oh, I guess this is a really dramatic part. Let me just... Dramatic composure. All at once they looked at me. I didn't know why, but having all of them look at me feel kind of important. Like a queen or something.
What is it, miss?
I want to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you all came here. I feel like I don't quite understand. Understand? Yeah, like being told And a bunch of incubi randomly appearing in your house was perfectly understandable.
How do we explain?
We were attacked. We came here to heal. What's so difficult to understand?
Now you're just being rude, Sam.
I'm just saying, how is that difficult to understand?
No, I mean what specifically happened.
Well, you see, we've been traveling around for quite some time now. Just recently we came into town, but we were jumped by this band of misfits. So, in order to escape and heal, we came here for shelter. Again, we apologize for the mess we made.
It's fine, I guess. So you're all better now, right?
Yup, all thanks to you.
I didn't actually do anything, though.
You see, beautiful, we feed on sexual energy. But we don't just get it from kissing lovely ladies such as yourself. We can simply touch someone's hand to obtain sexual energy. Everyone carries sexual energy, you know.
I see.
Is there anything else you wish to know?
Well, what do you all plan to do now?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now, James?
That is a very good question. We just got here and surely we'll be hunted again if we leave.
We can take him easily.
Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them.
At the moment, I didn't know what came over me, but I suddenly felt sorry for them. They couldn't possibly survive out there. They didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes. They probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff. They probably would cause chaos all over town. Or on the flip side, they could be taken in for questioning and be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. Most of all, they reminded me of back then. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. But there's a certain bitterness that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There's a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize that at the moment. And even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. And then I decided on it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never seen him before that. What better time to see him then? If no one else was going to help me with what I was feeling, I might as well turn to him. So after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I felt lost, I just stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed against the wall and eyes looking at strangers passing by. And like always, people continued to pass by and life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in a situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought I was being silly for even thinking I could change things with my own hands. That was until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who sits still and watch others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them, though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if it was the best idea. After all, 5 demons at my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. There was the matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of a harem or something. Eh? Oh God, imagine if my parents ever came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would have them arrested on the spot. This was hard. Maybe I should have written out a pros and cons before actually having to make the decision.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
It was strange that I happened to remember what my father said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the exact same situation I was before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Not like I had anything else to do. Clenching my fist, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could.
What was that, lovely lady?
Spit it out already.
You could stay here, I guess. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room began still. I'm not sure what went through their heads for my words. The silence of the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and well, I just moved into this giant house, and it seemed like it made sense. It was so quiet in the room, I decided to keep talking. If you'd like to stay here, though, there's 2 things I need all of you to follow. First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guest that comes over. Save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
Well, I played this game for demons, so demons I will have.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
What?
You're gonna have to stop talking.
Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seemed to like the idea except for Sam, because that was his character. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they would each follow the rules that I had just laid down.
Fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a
Use your
reasonable time
inside
limit
voice,
for our
Sam.
stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
Keep it in your pants.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam again stuffed themselves with the food on the table. I noticed James' eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my unkempt laugh.
You two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. So that... Is that the right thing? So then... I looked back at Filler Boy, who had been silent the entire time. He was leaning against the far wall, moving the slips almost silently to the empty space beside him. Out of curiosity, I looked the same way, though I found nothing there.
It's nothing.
What? I looked back to see Damien look at me with his normal blank face. Couldn't help but stare back, feeling the red tint of embarrassment spreading across my face. As I stared, Damien gave a very small smile and closed his eyes, returning to his thoughts. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. Then we feel like part of their family as we eat together. However, a feast was soon disturbed.
Hey, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
I'm fine. I'm at dinner. I'm eating with 5 demons.
Oh, good, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all.
I probably will have a party, but neither you nor my father will be invited.
Your father insists. You know how he is with events.
Well, tell him he can piss off. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work, and you know how your father is.
I know. I have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you.
You know, Mom, I don't really like you either.
All right, I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
I know. Great, now how am I going to do this?
Is something wrong?
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
I can speak for myself. But yeah, I have to throw a party.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
I don't see why not.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
Sam?
Back off.
We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer help right off the bat, although, personally, I'm pretty sure they would.
Feeling a little tired over there, princess?
Yeah, it's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend so I can sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait, where are you all going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Well, that sounds good.
Have a good night.
With that, I left the dining room and went to my room.
Eric, no.
What? I wasn't going to do anything.
Yes, he was.
Shh.
Well, I'm going to end it here, guys. If you like to see the next part, I'll have a link at the end screen. Leave a like if you liked it, and comment any game suggestions below. If you feel like it, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. The sun is in my eyes. Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see where this goes. But I'm honestly having kind of a lot of fun speaking for the protagonist. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one.